Chapter 3 something. You can believe the chapter the neutron concept that you have learned you should have to thorough understanding of these before moving on to chapter 4. Optical fiber classification depends on more than one measure of fiber can copy the optical fibers reflectively profile course out further distinguishes of the single moving mode fibers. Refractive index profile that describes the behavior of the fibers reactive index of the function axis design distance of the fiber diameter of refractive if the core uniform to undergo the abrupt change the core colliding under the grand index fiber the refractive index core very gradually as the function radial distance of the fiber 7 multi step the index of the fibers leave the core radius the constant refractive index of the one slightly lower refractive index to support the surround of the core. Relatively refractive index the difference parameter of the difference of the core with the cladding refractive index of the ability of the fiber except the optical energy light source related to the parameter. Multi-mode step index of the relatively large core diameter large male armature of the unfortunately multi-mode step index fibers and have limited bandwidth capabilities for performance short all limited bandwidth loss cover application of the multi-mode step indicators mode grade index fiber that have the core radius and the step index fibers with the refractive index score of the 1 rated score in the radial distance of the value of the index 1 refractive index 1 can increase the value of the refractive index of the cladding the refractive index 2 like the step index of the value of the value of the step and refractive index of cladding is constant and slightly lower refractive index than the value of refractive index first refractive index profile parameter determines the shape of the core through refractive index profile is value over the profile parameter the shape of the core profile chain with the triangular shape to a step the gradual decrease of the core reflective index of the center of the fiber cause the propagation modes to be reflected many times. Multi-mode grade index fibers have the loss of the module dispersion have the multi-mode step index fiber module dispersion move the multi-mode grade index fiber that have higher bandwidth capabilities multi-mode index fibers. Source to fiber coupling efficiency and intensity macro bending loss the distinguishing character of the multi-mode grade index 64 micrometers fiber the mass user overall form of the multi-mode grade index fiber the coupled power increase the core diameter of the parameter while building loss to increase it directly with the core diameter improve the parameter the smaller the parameter improve the fiber bandwidth. Match clad and press clad two steps the single mode step index fiber clad meaning the fiber cladding the single homogeneous state of the dielectrical materials of press cladding means the fiber cladding consists of two regions and outer cladding regions. Our single mode fiber cutoff wavelength, the smallest operating wavelength wherever the single mode fiber propagate only the fundamental mode. At this wavelength, the second order mode becomes loosely erased out of the fiber core. Single mode fibers have low attenuation, high bandwidth properties for the application of single mode fiber in long haul with high speed telecommunications system for vapor phase oxidation, direct mount process, method of fabricating multi-mode single mode optical fibers, cable structures, including for shrink member the jacket and sheath, the type buffer to loosen table, the gas fill, gel filled loose table, the fiber optic buffering techniques. Primary coating fiber type fiber loose tube, air loose tube, gel loose tube, gel filled loose tube, fiber optic cable, the triangle member that include the cable to protect the optical fibers from the strain. Jacket material should have low smoke generation, low toxicity, low halogen count, flame retardant, fluid resistant, high vibration resistant, stable performance or tetra system will have the core fiber optic cable, stringent environmental conditions of these type of cable design consider the Navy include the optical fiber cable component, strand and ribbon cable designs. Show the your cable. That was chapter 3 summary. Chapter 4 optical splices, connectors, and couplers.